will speak a bit in English, and if he needs to, I will translate a bit from Italian. He will just scream out if he needs any help. So I hope we will learn a lot more about the typical grape varieties of Friuli, like Malvasia, Istriana, Sauvignon del Collio, which, well, Sauvignon is not a native grape variety, but it's typical for Friuli. And of course the Tokai Friulano. So if you have any questions, you can just write them in the comments below, or if anybody wants to jump in, you can just let me know and I will drop the link in the comments. I will share the stream now, so all of you who are, when you're following me, please share the stream so more and more people can see us. So penso che puoi cominciare, you can start presenting yourself perhaps, and then I will start sharing the stream a bit. So if I don't seem very very present, I listen to you anyway. So welcome, Matej.
Okay, ciao, ciao a tutti. I'm Matej Fiegl from Oslavia. Oslavia is a little village in near Gorizia in northeast Italy, and I am and my family. We are owner of Fiegl Winery. Sorry for my macaroni English, but
no, you speak very well.
And in my family, I work in outside. I work in vineyards, and because this is my preferred job.
Okay.
Our family started to produce wine grape in Oslavia in 1782, and when here was Austria. Our name, our brand, is our surname, and it's a surname from Austria because our family it's original from a village near Vienna.
Okay.
Okay. And if you have a question of our kind of wine of our vineyards, I am here for you rispondere for
to reply.
Yeah, okay.
I think it will take a while before the people come, usually, because I'm still trying to share it everywhere. So I think we just talk, and then as soon as people come, they will just present themselves, and so I don't know if you just will. I don't know if you want to continue to talk a bit about your family and your winery, you can just, or whatever you.
Okay. Oslavia is a village, and our AOC or DOC is Collio. The Collio wine region is famous for white wine because we have a very particular weather. We are near the sea because the Adriatic Sea is 20 kilometers lontano. 20 kilometers.
The distance is 20 kilometers.
The distance of is 20 kilometers. But on the north we have the Alpi Giulie, and this is very particular because we have cold winter and fresh summer.
Yes.
And this is good for aromas of particular of white wines.
Okay.
Our autochthon grapes is Friulano, Ribola Gialla, and Malvasia Istriana. this three kind of grape is very different because Ribolla Gialla is very fresh wine, very it's good for aperitif, and it's very easy wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is
Malvasia.
the typical aromas or the typical characteristics of the?
It's Ribolla Gialla is very mineral wine, and have a good acidity in mouth, and it's very typical flower is white flower, or it's very elegant, very smell very elegant. Malvasia Istriana is a typical grape of this part of climate, because we can find the Malvasia Istriana only in Collio, Friuli, Carso, and in Slovenia and Croatia. And this is very particular white wine, because Italy it's full of Malvasia, but all Italian Malvasia produce a sweet wine. Malvasia Istriana produce a dry white wine.
Okay.
It's only this kind of Malvasia. It's particular. Friulano is our grape for a long affination in bottle. It's our grape. It's most completa, più completa.
The most complete, the most complete, I think you can say.
Yeah, and it's perfect for food match with San Daniele ham, and it's wonderful in summer.
Okay. And then you also produce. No, you talked about all of them. Ribolla,
Malvasia, and Tokai, and Friulano.
Yeah, because they're all the indigenous grape varieties.
Yeah. For international grapes, we produce Pinot Grigio and Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay. This is our three international grapes. Pinot Grigio was imported in Collio in 1845.
Okay.
It's our indigenous grapes ormai. È quasi un autoctono nostro il Pinot Grigio. And now Pinot Grigio is a grape. It's wine important for US, American, or Australia. This is our two places where we sell a lot of Pinot Grigio.
Okay.
Sauvignon.
Please go on with the Sauvignon.
Yeah, Sauvignon Blanc is very. It's a difficult grape for in vineyards. Very difficult grape because it's difficult to produce a good grape, and it's important. Is importante lavorare bene con l'uva.
It's important to work well in the vineyard with the grapes in the vineyard,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, because it's very è molto delicato nei profumi.
Okay, so it's very delicate. The aromas are very delicate, right?
Yeah, but it's very particular because the gamma of aromas is very big. Start with basil, or mined, very Mediterranean flowers, parfum, and finish with tropical fruit, with ananas or mango. It's very big nose on Sauvignon.
Okay. So for those of you who are following now, I see we are a couple of people. We're talking to Matej from Fiegl Winery in Friuli. So if you have any questions, you can ask them. He's talking about the different grape varieties they cultivate now, both indigenous and more international grape varieties. So please share also the stream if you want to. So you were talking about the Sauvignon, and you were saying that it's you were talking about its aromas, no, or the typical characteristics. Do you want to add anything? Or...
Come? Sorry, scusa, non ho sentito.
No, vuoi aggiungere qualcosa?
No, perché ogni tanto c'è un po' di eco. Il Sauvignon è una varietà che si comporta molto bene con l'affinamento negli anni, ecco. Cambia molto in bottiglia, parte più erbaceo per poi andare a finire con dei toni molto caldi, di crema pasticcera, quasi mielosi. Ecco. È molto interessante nell'affinamento in bottiglia. Se puoi tradurre.
Devo tradurre?
Sì.
So what did you say? It was from very herbal notes. No, ripetemi brevemente I sentori.
Appena, diciamo, quando è giovane il Sauvignon ha questi sentori di alloro, basilico, menta.
So when the Sauvignon is very young, it has more green notes, like of herbs, basil, laurel, and similar things, like more green notes, herby notes. And then poi quando invecchia?
Quando invecchia cambia, diventa va su dei profumi più di crema pasticcera e toni di miele quasi.
So when it then starts to age, it gets more sweet notes of honey and this kind of cream that you use for cakes and for sweets. So the kind of the notes and the aromas change very much from a young Sauvignon to a bit older Sauvignon.
Sì, giusto.
No, because sometimes a volte ascolto, però poi quando devo tradurre penso, oddio, cosa ho detto? So it takes a bit of time. There were a lot of people for a while, but now there's a bit. But we just continue, and then when they start, I hope they will make some questions after a while. So do you want to talk more about the area that you're in, a bit more about the soil and the typical work in the vineyard, or
allora,
do you want to talk more about the wine?
Yeah, our soil is very poor soil because in the substrate we have argilla.
Clay, no? Clay. Clay.
Clay, sì. And upstairs we have our traditional soil, and this is a ponca. And it's very poor kind of soil, and this is good for grapes because the plant la vite deve andare a cercare l'acqua, ecco.
Okay, so the vine needs to look for the water in the soil, because it's a very poor soil.
Yeah, and it's very poor soil, and this particular soil is good because it's very rich in mineral. It's for complexity of wine, it's a good characteristic. Our village in 1915 was in first lane of First World War, and all village, all vineyards, all economy, all family was destroyed from this stupid war, and we haven't a vineyard older than 18 years, because the first replanted vineyard was planted in 1925.
Okay.
And in our village we have a very big monument of First World War, and in our cellar we have a little museum of this tragedy, and because now we found a bomb or
oh, really?
Yeah, in our vineyards 100 years later.
Okay.
And it's wine is a territory.
Before the First World War, were you affected by the phylloxera or not? The vineyards.
Yeah, because in Gorizia have no, but in the past we had a agriculture school, and in this school at finish of 18th century, the Austrian Empire
Yes.
ha tenuto una conferenza sulla filloxera, la scuola.
Okay, they had a conference where they discussed the phylloxera.
E si è trovato, hanno iniziato, diciamo, a studiare proprio anche qua a Gorizia come combattere la filloxera.
Okay. But then anyway, the World War the First kind of destroyed everything anyway, so if I'm correct. Cioè, la prima guerra mondiale comunque ha distrutto tutto, quindi...
Dopo la prima guerra mondiale ha distrutto tutto, e dopo sono arrivate, diciamo, le piantine, le barbatelle già in estate.
Okay. Okay. So I don't know. Do you want to say something more about the area, the terroir, or what are the challenges? The most challenging thing with growing with working in the vineyards in your area?
Okay, in our area is very important system of planting the vineyard, because we have hills, and this is a very difficult kind of soil to produce, because it's a very ripido. It's very
steep. It's very steep.
Yeah, and this is an advantage for quality of grapes, because we have a good change of temperature between the night and the day in the summer. But it's difficult to work, because we use a particular kind of tractor for work in this vineyard, because it's not too dangerous, but a little is dangerous. Drive a normal tractor in Collio hills.
Okay.
And, the training system of vineyard is Guyot. This is our choice of produce, because Guyot is a very simple kind of training the plant, because you have the grapes in one tutti sulla stessa fascia, come si dice? L'uva è tutta
all in one lane, like in one. It's in how do you say, in straight lines.
Sì. L'uva è tutta sulla stessa altezza. And this is it's good because in harvest the people see the grape, and Guyot is if you use Guyot, automatically you don't produce a lot grape, because Guyot you produce about 1.5 kilograms for plant.
Okay.
This
so
is
for
important.
those of you who joined now, I just wanted to say again that we're at the Wines with You live stream, and we're talking to Matej from Fiegl Winery in Friuli. So if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them in the comments below. He's describing the work in the vineyard, and that they use the Guyot in their vineyards for their vines, and yeah, just please continue if you wanted to.
Okay. In our areas, we have a lot of rainy days, and this is a problem, because a lot of this day is in end of May and in first 10 of June, when the grape is in bottom. And this is very it's not good, because in this moment is the moment for the per le malattie, for the sick.
Yeah, for the sickness, how do you say? No, I can't remember the word, but for the diseases, no, the disease of the plant.
Because Peronospora and Oidio is two mushrooms, and this is advantage with humidity and with cold temperature, with hot temperature. And but fortunately we have a particular kind of wind called Bora, and this is our salvezza, is our
your salvation, your
because asciuga is because
it dries up
the plant, and this is important for healthy of vineyards. Our harvest is only manual. We pick up the grape by hand for have a good quality, because if you work manual, you can see the quality of grapes, and it's completely different work between the automatically harvest.
When more or less do you harvest the different grapes? Is there a huge difference in time, or is it more or less in the same period in September and October, or does it vary?
We start the harvest with Pinot Grigio grapes, because Pinot Grigio is the first maturo, is the first
it ripens first.
Yeah, After Pinot Grigio, usually we harvest the Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
Finish the international grape. Start with traditional. Start with Malvasia Istriana, Tokai Friulano, and finish with Ribolla Gialla.
Okay.
Our harvest start in end of August, or and finish in after 10 October with Ribolla Gialla.
Okay.
Because Ribolla Gialla is a white grape, but white grape with tannin. It's similar to red wine. It's similar to red grape. And for have a good wine, it's important have mature tannin.
Okay.
And after the Ribolla Gialla, we pick up only Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon, only red grape.
Okay.
And our harvest
during so that you also have Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, and
we have three kind of red grape: Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Merlot. The most important is Merlot, because in our area, Merlot is here about 100 years, and si è trovato bene, come si può dire.
It likes the climate in the area,
e produce dei vini molto interessanti.
And you can produce very interesting wines with the Merlot.
We have two vineyards, and in these two vineyards is old about 60 years, where we produce our Leopold Merlot, and this is it's a particular red wine, because it's a Merlot with who made 6 years in a oak barrel, 1 year in a bottle, before arrive in on marketplace.
Okay. So Nadia says hello. I think she was almost next to you at the Vinoe last year. Not really next to you, but she was doing the Montemaggio stand. So she's listening. No, please continue about the Merlot. Sorry, I was interrupting you.
No, it's no problem. And this Merlot is very particular, because have a good acidity and a good body, and it's very young when we bottle this wine. It's very young, anche se ha già 7 anni prima di essere messo in commercio.
Okay, 7 years before you put it on the market.
Yeah, after 7 years of the harvest. And this it's our top red wine.
Okay. Well, it's a long aging period, so it must be very interesting. I think I only tasted your white wines.
No, in Firenze I had avevo anche il Merlot in assaggio.
Okay.
Lo vedrai quest'anno, dai. Lo assaggerai quest'anno.
Speriamo. Let's hope. For those of you who just joined, we're talking to Matej from Fiegl Winery in Friuli, and he's talking about their Merlot that they aged for 6 years before they they put it on the market. So it's one of their top red wines, or the top red wine. And we were talking about the Vinoe, which is a wine event in Florence, where I tasted his wines last year, and hopefully also this year. So, do you want to talk about the other red wines, or did you want to go back to say something more about the work in the vineyard? I let you choose.
Okay. Oslavia is famous for Ribolla Gialla because in my village in here we have 7 cellar very famous because they said this cellar it's invented the orange wine.
Yeah, that's true.
And we have in with this producer an association, and we promote our kind of Ribolla Gialla in the Italy and in the world. This is very particular kind of produce the wine because it's similar to red wine, and Ribolla Gialla we have praticamente c'è una macerazione, it's a maceration, yes. And this maceration during 30 days. After these 30 days we put the wine in the oak barrel, and here stay 1 year, and after this year the affination we bottle this wine without any kind of filtration. It's very, very particular wine, and but it's a very territorial wine because with the maceration we have extraction.
Yes, extraction.
Yeah. Or of all components of our terroir.
Yes.
And now it's very vini di moda. It's very
trendy to drink this kind of wine.
Yeah.
The maceration for a longer time.
A few days ago, Barack Obama drank a Ribolla from Oslavia of Grauner.
Okay, really? That's so cool.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of articles during the last days because there was this one of the wine people in Tuscany who kind of managed the wine tasting. I think it was Filippo Bartolotto or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool that he drank Ribolla Gialla from.
Oh.
But it wasn't your one. Was it your one? Was it from your winery? No.
No, from Grauner Winery, my neighbor.
Grauner. Yeah, I think I read that. Yes.
100 meters about me. In our village, we are all friends, and we are very proud for this tasting of ex-US president, and it's very strange because we are a very little village. It's a village about 170 person, but we have 7 cellars.
Yeah, I read that because I went to read about the village to understand where it is, and then I read that it was only like very, very few people living there. So it's very interesting that you have so many wineries, but is it because the area is around there is very kind of suitable for growing grapes, or it has just a tradition that people there?
Yeah, all in the village we have 7 cellars, but all people in the village work with grape and with wine because it's who sell the grape for another seller, and it's the grape. It's it's important for our economy. It's we have only the grape and a little tourism, little. And but it's a wonderful place, and if you for a weekend, it's perfect for visit Gorizia. It's
we have to go and visit you. Nadia already wrote here in a comment that we have to go and visit you. So if there are 7 wineries, we have to do all of them in a weekend.
We are little near the Gorizia city. Gorizia is our. We are 5 kilometers lontano, 5 chilometri lontano dalla città.
Away from. Tina, she has also a Twitter chat about wine education in the States. She says that what do you mean, Tina? You have the grape in the States too, the Ribolla Gialla? Yeah, probably they also grow it in the States somewhere.
Yeah, in California, produce Ribolla Gialla, and 3 months ago, I met a producer from Napa Valley, from Napa City, and who produce Ribolla Gialla.
Okay, I didn't know that. I was ignorant. I thought it was a grape that was very kind of specific for Friuli, that it was difficult to grow. But did you taste it also? Or?
It's difficult to grow, but it's important with Ribolla Gialla. It's very, very important who to work in the vineyard, because it's a very molto produttiva, come si dice, produce a lot of grape if you want, but if you want have a good white wine from Ribolla Gialla, you must produce 1 kilo of grape for plant.
Okay.
This is very, very little produce.
But are there differences? I mean, there should be differences also in the terroir, no? In the soil, how the taste and the aromas are perceived, or cioè ci sarà anche una differenza di suolo, no?
Yes, it's different kind of soil, and it's different kind of vinification. We traditionally use the oak only for oxygen the wine. In California, use a very vanilla oak, very sweet oak, and this is a different kind of produce. We produce Ribolla Gialla molto più territoriale, diciamo.
So it's more territorial Ribolla, which is kind of an expression of the territory in Friuli, while it's a more general one, perhaps in California.
Yeah.
Do you mean that? I don't know. I kind of invented the interpretation. So I have to taste the one from the California. I have never tasted the Ribolla Gialla from California. How is it, Tina? I guess Tina has tried it, but you have tried it too, no, Matej?
Com'è?
La Ribolla from California. Tu hai anche assaggiato la Ribolla di Napa, no?
Sì, è venuto a novembre, è venuto un produttore di Napa, è venuto proprio, voleva conoscere diciamo la patria della Ribolla Gialla, ed è venuto, era ospite nostro a Oslavia, diciamo delle nostre aziende di Oslavia, che siamo in 6, e abbiamo fatto un tasting con le 6 ribolle che produciamo noi a Oslavia, più la sua. Molto interessante.
Okay, so he just explained that this producer from Napa who produced Ribolla Gialla came to visit them, and he was their guest in Oslavia. And they had a wine tasting with different Ribolla from all the 7 or 6 wineries in Oslavia, and also the wine from the producer in Napa. And he says it was very interesting. So Tina Mori says that your history of your winery seems amazing. So she's very happy, I think, to get to know more about your wines. We should you should have him for a Twitter chat, because he's good with Twitter. Yeah, who is the producer in Napa? I don't know if you can...
Allora, one moment, I search in my phone the picture with bottle, and una volta uno era Luna, mi pare, aveva anche la Ribolla Gialla, però adesso non so se produce ancora Ribolla Gialla.
So he's looking for the producer. Anyway, I think this was Lynn. Sorry, who asked this? Lynn is another. She's an American who lives in Bordeaux.
Adesso ti dico subito chi è il produttore. Solo un momentino. Allora.
He's looking for the producer. The name of the producer.
Allora, Grassi di Calistoga.
Okay.
Mattiasson produce anche Ribolla Gialla. Mattiasson is producer of Ribolla Gialla in California, and Grassi from Calistoga. This is to produce the Ribolla Gialla in California.
Okay. Let's see. I'm putting it here. Grassi from Calistoga.
Grassi from Calistoga and Mattiasson. Mattiasson from Napa, I think.
And she asked also about Rhine.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
But anyway, we learned a lot now about who is producing Ribolla in California. So, anything else you think that is important to know about your area, about your winery?
I don't know. You can visit our yeah, okay. And it's
anything you want to know, Tina or Lynn or Nadia, about the wines? We talked before about the different white grape varieties, which are the more indigenous grape varieties, like the Tocai Friulano, Malvasia Istriana, Ribolla Gialla. So I don't know if you want to know something specific. Now is the time to ask Matej. Do you want to say something more about your red wines? Because you didn't. I don't know. What is typical about the Cabernet Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon? Are there any typical traits for Friuli?
Yeah, Cabernet Franc. It's typical Cabernet Franc from Friuli. It's very herbaceous. It's very verde. It's very
green.
Very green, yeah. Because in our osteria, in the past, was important il legare. Era importante che doveva legare in bocca, no? Era importante il tannino. Ed era importante il tannino.
The kind of connecting thread in the mouthfeel was very important in the past for them.
But now this kind of wine, it's terrible for our smell,
Huh.
and now produce a Cabernet Franc similar to our region, because we produce a few grapes on plant. We use the oak barrel for affination, and it's a international red wine. It's not non è più un vino d'osteria, ecco. Isn't a osteria wine. And Cabernet Sauvignon
do you still drink it cold? Nadia asked if you still drink it cold, the Cabernet Franc.
Se si può bere fresco. Il Cabernet Franc.
Cioè, lei dice che forse chiede se forse si beve ancora fresco. Se lei è veneta, quindi penso che ha una memoria.
Sì, si può bere fresco. Si può bere, dipende come si lavora in vigna, ecco. Se lavori bene in vigna lo puoi bere già anche fresco. Se lavori male in vigna devi affinarlo in bottiglia, ecco, perché deve perdere tutto il tannino che c'ha. Invece se lavori bene puoi berlo anche giovane.
No, I think she meant if you se lo bevi freddo, cioè di temperatura.
No, freddo no.
Okay.
No, it's temperatura ambiente, ecco, diciamo. In Veneto si beve freddo.
So there was this discussion if you drink it cold or warmer, because apparently in Veneto region you drink the Cabernet Franc with a colder temperature. And then Matej was explaining the younger, he was thinking fresh in the sense of younger wine, and not as aged, as it's the preference now to have the Cabernet Franc aged a bit more.
Il Cabernet Franc che si beve in Veneto e che si beve in Friuli, in osteria, diciamo che è molto da battaglia, ecco, è quello più è molto ruspante, ecco, come vino. Però è il nostro, diciamo, quello è il nostro Cabernet, no? Quando le persone più anziane ti chiedono un Cabernet, loro vogliono quel tipo di Cabernet.
Yes, so Lynn asked that you said that it rains a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot of rain because we have.
I don't know, se leggi il commento tu riesci?
Sì, lo vedo, sì. Ma lo leggo.
If this caused the greenness in the Cabernet Franc because of the rain, or?
Yeah, we in our region we have a lot of rain. We have about 1,200 millimeters for a year.
Sì, però volevo sapere se il lato verde del Cabernet è una causa di questo.
È dato dalla pioggia. Il lato verde del Cabernet è dato dalla difficoltà di arrivare a maturazione.
Yes, okay. So yeah, you were right, Lynn. It's caused due to the rain that it's difficult to arrive to the ripeness of the grapes. So yes, it's the greenness in the Cabernet Franc can be said that it's a result of a lot of rain.
Yeah.
And before he said about the Cabernet Franc that traditionally it was a wine that you drank in the local osteria, which is this kind of local sort of restaurants, low-key restaurants where you drink the kind of daily wines, and then you can also probably drink it colder. While now the taste is more for an aged Cabernet, which is a bit smoother, I guess, and not with a green taste. E il Cabernet Sauvignon com'è? Anche molto verde? Is it very green also the Cabernet Sauvignon? Or?
Cabernet Sauvignon is we have a place with a different kind of soil from Collio. This place is near Gorizia, and the dock is Friuli zone. So, and in this place, the soil it's similar to grapes in Bordeaux, and it's very red soil. It's rich in iron, and it's rich in stone. Okay. And this is a good place for plant the Cabernet Sauvignon. This kind of Cabernet Sauvignon is different between the Cabernet Sauvignon from Toscana or from south of Italy, because we have a cold weather. But it's very elegant wine, because we haven't very hot, and this is perfect for perfume of wine. Okay. It's very elegant. We have a good body with a heavy body with Cabernet Sauvignon, but we have very bilanciato, very equilibrated, equilibrated wine, and it's a good kind of Cabernet Sauvignon, and we are happy when produce a good Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah, I can imagine. I didn't know this thing about the Cabernet Friuli. It's good.
Yeah, it's very particular kind, because when we talk of Friuli wine, we usually think to white wine, but the kind of work in vineyard changed in the last 20 years, and now produce a very good white wine and very good red wine, because in vineyard we work heavy for grow up our quality of grapes.
Yes, because traditionally, I mean, Friuli is known for the white wines, as you said, and less for the red, no? And then in your area, they don't grow Schioppettino, because Schioppettino is only in a...
Schioppettino is a traditional grapes from Colli Orientali. It's northern than us, and we unfortunately the First World War destroyed all our red grapes, traditional red grapes, and we lost all red grapes, traditional red grapes, and in 1920 the people chose Cabernet Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot for replanted the vineyard.
Okay.
And we lost our traditional red grapes.
Okay.
We lost a lot of traditional white grapes. Fortunately, we saved the Ribolla Gialla, Malvasia Istriana, and Tokai Friulano, because it's a grape produced in all part of Friuli, and it's was simple to found the new plant. But for red grapes, traditional red grapes from Oslavia, we lost all, because it's all destroyed.
Yeah. But have you recuperated something, or has there been any research to recuperate some of the, or it's not possible?
No, I think it's not possible because we haven't a vineyard older than 18 years.
Okay.
And in 1920 was planted with Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Merlot. And unfortunately, we haven't red grapes, traditional red grapes.
No, it's interesting. I didn't know all these things. If anybody has any more questions or have any more questions, you can ask them now to Matej. I think we learned a lot. I learned a lot about the grape varieties in Friuli that I didn't know before. I didn't know the things about the Cabernet Franc and the Cabernet Sauvignon in Friuli, the characteristics. So that's interesting. I don't know, do you want to add something? C'è qualcos'altro che vorresti dire? Se no, otherwise I think we can round it up.
Dovete venire a visitare Oslavia, ecco.
So we all have to go to Friuli. When you come over here, Lynn and Tina, we have to go to Friuli and visit. No, but it's definitely on our list. I think also Fiegl wanted to go to Friuli sometime, but then it never happened because they prefer to go to France now the last 2 years. So there hasn't been any longer trips in Italy. But forse il prossimo anno, chissà. Yes, Lynn, we have to go. For those of you who want to contact Matej, he's actually very active both on Twitter and I think they can contact you also here on Facebook, the Facebook page Fiegl that I put in the comments, or also via the website, I think.
I have because I work in vineyard, but in vineyard with iPhone. And I have all kind of social. I have Facebook page, Twitter account, Instagram.
Because you reply very, very, very fast on Twitter and and Facebook. Because some producers, it takes a lot of time before they reply. So even if you tweet them or you write them, then it takes like a week or so before they get back to you. But you're very fast, so that's a good thing. So I think
because I love wine and I love the internet technology. And fortunately, Steve Jobs invented iPhone, and this is good for my job.
So I'll going to write the Twitter. So on Twitter, he's Azienda Fiegl. So you can find him there, and he's very active, as I said. I think Tina has a Twitter chat, so it might be an idea if she's still listening in. And for the rest, I think if you want to get in contact with him, it's fairly easy. And you can also watch his videos because he does live videos on their Facebook page, which are pretty cool. But they're in Italian.
Because my English is very bad, and I think it's very good. I do a degustation in Facebook Live and on my Facebook page. And because I think più persone parlano di vino, meglio è.
Yes, the more people who talks about wine, the better it is. I think you can actually activate the subtitles in English for free on Facebook. I think there's an option if you would like that, then people can follow. So if you know a bit of Italian, you can actually go and listen to him, because I did that before this, so I would kind of refresh my knowledge on Ripolla Gialla and Malvasia Istriana, because I didn't want to seem like I was completely ignorant. But it's a good way. I think it's also an easy way for producers to show themselves. It doesn't take much to do a live video. You can also do only for 2 minutes if you want that. So thank you very much. I think it's been a very fun. I hope you had fun too as a live stream. And mostly the people kind of watch also afterwards, even if not that many were live. But there were around 150 who has watched at least for a part. So I think it was a good show.
Thank you, Katarina, for this opportunity. And
I wanted to ask you for a while, but then I didn't get around to do it until now. And if you want to taste these wines, otherwise either you go to Friuli or you come to Vinoa in November.
Okay.
Thank you all who joined today. Next week there will be no Wine Switzerland because I will be at Radice del Sud in Bari. And then I will be back on the 6th, but we will have next live stream on the 7th, and I hope to have the Marchesi Gondi, the Gerardo again, and I hope his technical problem will be resolved, so we can finally listen to him too. And then on the 14th, always on Wednesday. So the next 2 times will be on a Wednesday due to my wine travels. It's going to be a bit difficult otherwise. And on the 14th of June, we will have, I think so, she still has to confirm, but I think so, a winery from Basilicata, actually, in the Zona del Vulto, which is pretty cool. I think it's my first winery from Basilicata, so that will be fun. So thank you again, Matej. Did you say Matej or Matej?
Matej, hai pronunciato correttamente.
Okay, that's good. So for those of you who just joined now, we have been talking to Matej from Fiegl Winery in Friuli. If you just joined now, we're actually rounding it up now, so you can listen to the replay. And you can see his Twitter address here. If you want to get more news about my live stream, you can just go to my blog, grapevineadventures.com. And just sign up for the newsletter, and then you will get the latest news. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Matej, and see you on the June the 7th. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah. Ciao, Katarina. Ciao.